Atención. Atención. Oye, atención.
This week starts Monday, March 17th on the Russ Belville Show and 420radio.org. Join me, Gordon Green, as I bring you all the happenings from the largest cannabis expo in the world, Spannabis 2014 in Barcelona, Spain. Daily reports, all-access interviews from Jorge Cervantes, Annie Danko, European personalities like Cannabis Cure UK and the Dope Fiend, and many more. All here with me, Gordon Green, starting Monday, March 17th on 420radio.org and the Russ Belville Show.
The following program, The Russ Belville Show, is intended for responsible adults only. We advocate to the repeal of marijuana prohibition for adults. We discuss the science, culture, and controversy about America's marijuana laws. We do not advocate any illegal activity and encourage all listeners to learn their state and federal marijuana laws. Opinions and claims made by guests and advertisers on The Russ Belville Show are their own, and the Russ Belville Show cannot be held legally responsible for their validity or reliability. Viewer discretion is advised.
You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it, and it goes down smooth. Hey! Spanning the continent to bring you the truth about cannabis and marijuana law reform.
I smoke pot and I like it a lot.
From the promise of legalization.
And I think that we need to rethink and decriminalize our marijuana laws.
To the agony of prohibition.
One major responsibility is to encourage people to use less drugs.
The Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
Yeah, I hear you had a question for me.
Now, here's your host, Radical Russ Belville.
We love it.
All right, good evening. Cannabis and Tech off the show. We're coming to you live and direct from Atlanta, Georgia. We're getting ready for the Sub-Cannabis Reform Conference this weekend, and I'm hanging out with some of the activists in Georgia. Kelly's over there on the couch. Hi. We got Sharon Hannah and remind me. Thomas. I knew. I was going to say Elliot. That's your last name. Thomas is here. I'm Radical Russ here in Georgia, and we've got all sorts of stuff coming up this week. I do have to apologize. I just got off of a plane literally a half hour ago. So all I'm going to be able to do for you live today is bringing you the latest news headlines from the 420 Radio News. But Brian the Red is back in the studio. How you doing there, Brian?
Oh, I'm here. The bus has finally got me in.
I was beginning to wonder. I landed, and I'm tweeting out to Brian trying to figure out where he's at. Both of us subject to public transportation. So we'll bring you the best show we can today. We've got plenty more video from the Marijuana Business Association Trade Fair, the vendor fair that went on this last weekend up at Magical Butter Studios in Seattle, Washington. So we got plenty of those videos to bring to you over in our Half Past segment, in our Behind the Headline segment as well. In the Radical Rant segment at 45 past, we've got another report from Gordon Green, who's out in Barcelona, Spain for the Spannabis Festival. We'll get some of his interviews at 45 after. And then in hour two, Toker Talk Radio, more coverage from the Marijuana Business Association Vendor Fair up in Seattle, Washington. We're having ourselves a good time here in Atlanta on tomorrow's show and Thursday's show and Friday's show. We'll be bringing you live guests, live interviews, and all sorts of reporting on what's going on here in Georgia. You know, it's just the past couple of years I've been coming here to Georgia, visiting and working activists here, and it's amazing the strides they've made in such a short time. Just 2 years, you couldn't even talk about marijuana at the State House without getting laughed at. Now they're passing cannabidiol bills and seriously talking about medical marijuana and legalization and decriminalization right here in Georgia. And if it can happen here, it can happen anywhere, folks. So get involved. All the folks that I showed you here in this room, they're working from their living rooms, they're working from their bars, they're sleeping overnight at friends' visit the Capitol. They're putting feet on the street and getting into the State House, lobbying their officials directly, and it makes a huge difference. You can do this too. Get it called Normal, SFPP, ASA, somebody, and get involved or form your own organization. Email me, Russ at
We'll be right back
Russ.com.
after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
Cannabis Outreach Collective is an alternative health and wellness option located in Gladstone, Oregon, that serves patients in the Portland area and beyond. We are a full-service alternative health and wellness collective accommodating patients with natural, organic, holistic, and homeopathic remedies, nutritional guidance, advice, education, and medical cannabis, fully in accordance with Oregon OMMP law. You can find out more about Cannabis Outreach Collective on Facebook at COC503 or by emailing cannabisoutreachcollective503@gmail.com or by telephone at 503-853-1319. Check out our menu on Weed Maps and visit Cannabis Outreach Collective today. 420 Radio, your ticket to the Boston Freedom Rally. When you are starting up a medical cannabis business, you don't just want any attorney. You want a fired-up lawyer who understands the needs of cannabis consumers. The law office of Lauren Vasquez is your fired-up lawyer for the cannabis industry. Lauren Vasquez knows the details of California marijuana law from both a personal and professional angle. Lauren Vasquez rose from the ranks of college normal activist to become one of the Bay Area's best marijuana lawyers. Visit her website, fireduplawyer.com, or call 1-855-MMJ-LAWS for more information. That's 855-665-5297 for Lauren Vasquez, your fired-up lawyer, or email fireduplawyer@gmail.com. The number again is 855-MMJ-LAWS, 855-665-5297 for your fired-up lawyer, Lauren Vasquez. Lauren Vasquez is an activist attorney you can trust. Call today.
This is your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, March 18th, 2014. I'm Russ Belville. New Jersey voters could decide on marijuana legalization from thedailychronic.net. A bipartisan bill has been introduced to legalize the possession of marijuana in New Jersey. If passed by the legislature, the law would not take effect in the state unless the voters approve it. Assemblyman Reed Gascoria and Michael Patrick Carroll last week filed Assembly Bill 2842, a ballot initiative that would put marijuana legalization in the hands of New Jersey voters. The bill proposes legalizing possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana as well as marijuana paraphernalia used within the guise of the new laws. In order to get on the ballot, the bill needs to be passed by the state assembly and Senate and signed by Governor Chris Christie. If the bill is passed, New Jersey would be the first state to pass a marijuana legalization measure of any kind through a state legislature. It should be noted that this bill does not address taxation, regulation, or cultivation of marijuana, and current criminal penalties still apply to the possession of over 1 ounce. Medical marijuana bill advances in Maryland from the Washington Post. The Maryland House of Delegates approved legislation Monday intended to make it possible for patients to use medical marijuana, which was legalized last year but remains unavailable in the state. Delegates voted 127-9 to allow certified physicians to discuss the option of medical marijuana with patients and then recommend its use. Those patients or their caregivers could obtain a 30-day supply from a licensed grower. The legislation now heads to the Senate, where approval is expected. New poll, 74% say yes to medical marijuana in Florida from theweedblog.com. All eyes are on Florida, where a medical marijuana initiative has made the ballot.
Florida is a very significant state in the battle for safe access. If and when Florida voters approve Proposition 2 in November, Florida will become the first southern state to legalize medical marijuana. Florida has a lot of reach beyond its borders, too, as many seniors spend their winters there, many people have family there, and it's also a hot travel destination for many people. A lot of influential people live in Florida, and we're confident that once they see how well medical marijuana works, they will do more to make medical marijuana a reality nationwide. According to a new poll released by the University of North Florida, 74% of registered voters polled responded that they would vote yes for Proposition 2, allowing the medical use of marijuana for individuals with debilitating diseases as determined by a licensed Florida physician. The official question that was asked in the poll was, Proposition 2 is on the state ballot. 74% said yes, only 22% said no, and 4% were undecided. Compare those numbers to the response given when the same people were asked if they support full legalization. 57% said they would oppose such reform, while only 41% said they would support legalization. Florida may not be ready to legalize recreational marijuana, but Florida is certainly ready for medical marijuana. A challenge to barring medical marijuana licensees from buying guns loses in federal court. From Reason.com. Long awaited and alas bad news from the case of Wilson v. Holder from way back in December of 2011. Rowan Wilson, then a Nevada-based medical technician in residential care homes, was not able to buy a gun from a licensed dealer who was personally acquainted with her and knew she had a state medical marijuana patient card. This is because the dealer knew of Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives rules that stated, quote, if you are aware that a potential transferee is in possession of a card authorizing the possession and use of marijuana under state law, then you may not transfer firearms or ammunition to the person, end quote. Such a person, the feds insist, would run afoul of Section 922G of the Federal Criminal Code from the 1968 Federal Gun Control Act, which says that anyone, quote, who is an unlawful user of or addicted to any substance, end quote, is basically barred from possessing or receiving guns and ammo. Wilson thought that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives policy violated her Second Amendment rights and sued. An opinion in the case was issued yesterday by the U.S. District Judge, and it wasn't good. It upheld a motion to dismiss the case entirely by the federal government defendants. Cannabis legalization in the UK is called for as Amsterdam-style cafe plan is proposed. The battle for Britain's first cannabis cafe was launched again this week, and campaigners have stepped up their call for legalization of the Class B drug. Ian Driver, a Green Party councillor for the Thanet District Council, said this week he is looking for possible venues for an Amsterdam-style cafe. This has been your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, March 18th, 2014. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we'll have video from the Marijuana Business Association vendor fair. I believe it's Marco from Evergreen Herbal discussing plant techniques. We'll have some Daily Toker Tunes with Electric Bob also when we come back. You're listening to The Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. Stay tuned. Hey Tokers and Tokettes, Radical Russ here to introduce you to my friend Matt and all the staff at Lush LED Lighting. Growing plants indoors can be a rewarding hobby, but electricity bills can go through the roof. Then you have to cool down all those big hot lights. It can drive a grower insane. With Lush LED Lighting, you can solve many of these issues and double your rewards. If you thought LEDs were meet the tech of today, Matt and his scientists have developed the perfect light for flowering plants with far less cost and heat. And the results? Let's just say I appear at a lot of events with the masters of indoor horticulture, and the harvests I saw from Lush LED Lighting were big, tight, sticky, and very effective. Check out LushLEDlighting.com right now and tell them Radical Russ sent you. Double your rewards and lower your expenses with Lush LED Lighting.
I'm Sub Cool from Team Green Avenger. At TGAgenetics.com, we are working on the leading edge of medical strains. Our strains are rigorously tested for THC, CBD, THCV, and other critical cannabinoids. Know your grow. Check out our genetic diversity at tgagenetics.com, the home of Jelly Bean, Jack the Ripper, Vortex, and other award-winning cannabis strains.
Canna-Truths, starring Denton Ramsey from Waco, Texas. Fridays at 8 a.m. Pacific on 420radio.
Out there, we love you, Radical Russ. Thank you for coming to Seattle. Our brothers down there in Oregon and Portland. And you know what? Can I announce it? Yeah. On stage? Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know, a little bit of Portland is coming to Seattle. Magical Butter Studios and Radical Russ are going to be coming together. We're going to be broadcasting the 420. Get up here, Russ. Dang, man. I'm up here without you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my proud pleasure to introduce Radical Russ. He's been here all weekend. 420 Radio. This guy broadcasts nationwide. We're going to do at least a once a month deal. He's going to be here, and we're going to build out a live studio here for him to broadcast. Thank you so much, Russ. And I want you to tell him a little bit about yourself and what we got running in the future.
That's right. 420radio.org is live during 4-hour marijuana legalization radio. I do a daily talk radio show at 3 p.m. Pacific time, replayed at 6 and 9, and we cover events like this. We cover the law, we cover activism, we cover science. I do a weekly interview with Dr. Mitch Irwin-Wine, where we have live question and answers about cannabis science, history, and culture, and health. I do a weekly segment with Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, where I'm talking to former cops and prosecutors who say we need to legalize all drugs. I do weekly segments where I speak to people from overseas to find out what's going on in Europe as far as their changes, or talking to people in South America. I travel all across the country. Next week I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, talking to people there about how they're making changes in their marijuana laws. So 420 Radio is all about being the public voice, the public radio voice of the cannabis movement, both the business side, but especially the consumer, the culture side, and those of us who've been fighting not to be criminals for so long. And this is a part of it. Coming to these events and meeting new people. And we're always looking to partner up with other businesses that are wanting to be a part of this movement as well. Businesses that want to show that they're more than just about the bottom line, but also about moving this social movement forward. While we're having legal sales here in Washington and Colorado, there's still people going to jail in Kentucky. There's still people going to prison in North Dakota. There's still people going to jail in Florida. And by and large, disproportionately, Black and Latino people going to jail for this. And it is a travesty, and it is an injustice that has to end. And I believe business is a part of making that end. But I also believe people are a bigger part of making that end. And bringing us all together and having a thing like 420 Radio where people can call in live and offer their perspective. We interview people from all walks of the cannabis community, from all over the country and internationally. So if you're interested, check out 420radio.org. I'm Russ Belville, Radical Russ. You can find me on all social media at Radical Russ. And thank you so much for having me here, Jeremy. Thank you, Magical Butter. Thank you, MJBA, for putting this on. And again, making that positive face for the business community here to show that, yeah, the prohibitionists are looking at us. The people that hate marijuana are looking at us. They want to see us look bad. They want to see us selling to kids or marketing irresponsibly. So we have to have that extra high standard for part of the fun. We have to have a great top standards here, and I think we're doing that here with MJBA. So thank you very much, Jeremy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Radical Russ, 420 Radio, everybody. It's always a pleasure to have him up on stage. And, I wanted to have him come up, and because free speech is important in America, and, there's nobody I don't know nobody that I don't know. Gosh, this is my English today. And the wonderful people at Normal. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to, in just a moment here, be introducing our friends from Normal, and they're going to be stepping up in just a second.
All right, well, that sound means it's 20 after the hour. It's 3 p.m.
6:20 out here in Atlanta, Georgia. But wherever you are, it's 20 after. I hope you're enjoying yourself. We'll be right back with some Daily Toker tunes.
Oh, have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. If he said he swam to China, he would sell you South Carolina. Then you know you're talking to that reefer man.
You know Herb Thrasher from the Herb Thrasher Flower Hour. Now get ready for Herb Age Designs for the proud cannabis consumer. Herb Age Designs, lifestyle gear for the 420 friendly. Herb Age Designs, home of the famous lighter leash. Herb Age Designs, get your Herb Age t-shirts and hoodies and show your pride. Herb Age Designs, we've got frisbee golf discs and durable hemp gear. Herb Age Designs, we've got shot glasses, drinking glasses, coffee mugs, and beer cozies. Check us out on Facebook and online at herbagedesigns.com. And follow Herb Age and Herb Thrasher on Twitter. We'll see you at this year's Hemp Fest. Crank it up!
Support the Russ Belville Show. Text the word Russ to 420-420 and connect with the National Cannabis Coalition. You can also send $10 to the Russ Belville Show right from your smartphone. That's Russ to 420-420. You're listening to Radical Russ on the Russ Belville Show.
I'll say, little red Corvette, darling, your words too fast. Little red Corvette, you need a lover that's gonna lay.
Hi, I'm cannabis.
I'm alcohol.
Do you know that I can be used to treat a number of physical and psychological conditions like depression, Huntington's disease, and osteosclerosis?
Your mother's an osteoporosis.
I can also be used to help those who are abusing our friend over here.
You know what the problem is with you? You think you're better than everybody else. Hey, look at me, I'm weak.
Okay, I actually do prefer to be called cannabis. I'm illegal.
I'm illegal, because weed makes you stupid.
Everyone knows music and marijuana go together, so let's wind up our 20 after break with the Russ Belville Show's Daily Toker Tunes, the best in pod-safe 420 music from around the web. Today is Electric Tuesday, featuring the latest in electronic dance music and other cutting-edge genres. Now, sit back and enjoy your Daily Toker Tunes.
All right, from one side of the country to the other, from one A to another, Atlanta to Arizona. We got Bago Swaggo on the line. I mean, Electric Bob, excuse me. It's been a long day, Bob. How you doing? Oh, I'm not catching anything from Bob's line, unfortunately. All right, well, we're going to go ahead with the tune. I don't know why we can't get Bob on the line right at the moment, but Electric Tuesday, Daily Toker tune for today. We're going to do some music from General Levy, and the song is called Professional Ganja Smoker, and that's what I'm going to get to right now, some professional ganja smoking. Sorry we couldn't get you on the line, Electric Bob, but thanks for sending in the tune, and enjoy your Daily Toker tune for Electric Tuesday.
Woo! Yeah. Well, big up all ganja smoker worldwide. Burn the spliff with pride. The highest grade, it can't fade. What we tell them? Yo, stick a ding, stick a ding, stick a ding, stick a ding down, dig a dig a down, stick a dig a down, stick a ding, stick a ding, stick a ding, stick a dig a down, stick a ding down, dig a dig a down, stick a dig a down, dig a dig a down, stick a dig a down, stick a ding down, dig a down, stick a dig a down, stick a dig a down, dig a dig a down, stick a dig a down, dig a dig a down, and then when the bounce it down, stick a ding down, dig a dig a down, P number one. Get a man leave it with a big ganja song. We say, get a man, 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 go on. Get a 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 Professional ganja smoker says they are whatever honor. You love your ganja, come. Professional ganja smoker says they are whatever honor. We love our ganja, come. Professional ganja smoker says they are whatever honor. You love your ganja, come. Professional ganja smoker says they are whatever honor. We love our ganja. Ganja man, hand in the ear. From you know say a good weed, you smoke year to year. Ganja man, put your hand up in the ear. From you know say the highest grade you blaze year to year. Come, professional ganja smoker says they are whatever honor. You love your ganja, go. Professional ganja smoker says they are whatever honor. We love our ganja. The healing of the nation must know it of the earth. The natural brain food we come from the earth. We don't need no passport to fly like a bird. Give it the herb. We serenade around the universe. Ganja can done, we have more pan reserve. Fresh from the ghetto, coming in fresh and reserve. Down on the ends, we get it reserve. Ganja, who don't we nerve? Professional ganja smoker says they are whatever honor. We love we ganja, come. Professional ganja smoker says they are whatever honor. We love we ganja, come. Ganja man, hand in the ear. From you know say the high grade you blaze year to year. Ganja man, put your hand up in the ear. From you know say high grade you burn year to year. Ganja, that's how we vibe generator. Ganja, that's how the vibe stimulator. Ganja, that's how we favorite aroma. Ganja, better the herb man hustler. Ganja, big up the herb man juggler. Ganja, from every crevice and corner. Ganja, we say we love it across the border. Ganja. Come, professional ganja smoker says they are whatever honor. You love your ganja, come. Professional ganja smoker says they are whatever honor. We love we ganja. And the mother by say dancing, singing, and digging, and peeing, and the boy. Get them and leave it professional ganja song. Get them Quan, so big up the ganja man and ganja woman. Soon be the bang, be the bang, be the bang, putting down. Boom.
Support the Russ Belville Show. Text the word Russ to 420-420 and connect with the National Cannabis Coalition. You can also send $10 to the Russ Belville Show right from your smartphone. That's Russ to 420-420. You're listening to Radical Russ on the Russ Belville Show.
Georgia. Hi, this is Willie Nelson, and I need your help. Alcohol prohibition didn't work in the 20s, and marijuana prohibition isn't working today. It's time we stop arresting law-abiding citizens because they prefer marijuana over alcohol. Nearly 2,000 Americans are arrested every day on marijuana charges. We're unfairly destroying the lives and careers of hundreds of thousands of people each year simply because they smoke marijuana. These are not criminals. They're average citizens like you, good neighbors who work hard, raise families, pay taxes, and contribute to their communities. We need your help to end marijuana prohibition once and for all. It's the fair thing to do.
For more information, contact NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. Call toll-free 888-67-NORML or visit their website at norml.org.
Medical Marijuana Radio, starring Larry Love from Santa Fe, New Mexico, Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Pacific on 420radio.com.
Kind trim.
Okay, we now bring you some more footage from the Marijuana Business Fair in Seattle that was put on by Magical Butter Company. This is day one, kind
Give a warm
trim.
welcome, please, to Debbie LaPlante.
So I have to say that I'm sorry that we're not going to have the live trimming that we were hoping to have, but I will answer any questions that anybody has about the machine. I'll show you how it runs. We're going to go ahead and turn it on and show how it runs and how to work it and all that. So but I have to apologize ahead of time, but if there's anybody that knows of anyone that would like to have something trimmed when we're finished with this, we're going to have a demo tomorrow. I'm happy to do whatever you need to do for no charge. So this is the Trim Pal machine. This is the original Trim Pal machine. We also, I carry Trim Pal in Seattle. I'm the Washington distributor for Trim Pal. And the owner graciously came clear up here for us so that we could have any questions answered that I was not able to answer for you. I'm from Grass Valley, California, which is where this machine is being made. And I've known these people my whole life. And as far as our relationship is, they've been into this company for a year now. They started it a year ago. They started, and they've been selling like crazy. They sold in the first year everything that they could possibly make. So that's a good testament to how efficient this machine is and how it's as much as they say as it's doing. Because the word has just spread. They haven't done that without any advertising or anything. We're firm believers that this industry is growing, and it's going to have to. We're going to have to find a way to grow with it. And hand trimming is so time-consuming that if you're going to keep up with the requirements that Washington is putting down on you as a grower, you're going to have to find another way to trim. There just isn't any. I can't imagine that there are enough hand trimmers to keep up with a 30,000 square foot canopy. We do only dry trimming in this machine. So yeah, if you have any questions as I go along, please just yell out at me. It's fine. This is a dry trimming only machine. So as far as the way that you prepare for this is to take the limbs with the colas on it right off the plant, hang the whole limb dry. You can take off the fan leaves if you choose to, I guess leave them on if not. Because we're going to take off, you're going to then take the buds off below that grow above those fan leaves, just like you would if you were going to hand trim it. You're just taking it off the big stalk first. This machine holds about 10 gallons of buds with leaves on, which equates to about 2 pounds of finished product. So if you start with a nice, properly dried product, you're going to come out with something that's really similar to hand trim, because this machine doesn't cut anything. There's no cutting blade with the machine. I can touch it on the inside, it doesn't cut me, there's nothing sharp, there's nothing that's going to happen to you with it. I'm going to take it apart a little bit and show you how it works. So it's on, well, it's going to fall through this chute right here. I have just a regular office size garbage pail. This is a turkey bag inside of it. They fit nicely. If that's what you want your keef and your trim to fall into, this is where it'll go. The chute, it falls out the bottom, which is underneath this chute area. When we tip it up, this is where it's typically falling out onto whatever you want to put underneath of it. If you come by our booth, I have a video over there that you can watch it in action with some real product in it. but it'll come out in this area. If you want to put the chute on it and funnel it into something smaller, that's great. If not, you can leave it off and it'll just go into a tub or whatever it is that you want it to go into. So we load the machine this direction. It takes about, like I said, 10 gallons. We use 2 5-gallon buckets of buds with the leaves on. And put it in here and it pretty well fills it up. You just tip it forward and put the pin back in, and that holds it at a little bit of an angle, a slight bit of a tilt, so that everything keeps processing properly. Once it's full, we put the safety or the bucket shield on the basket. And then we put a safety shield over the top of it. It won't run until you put the second cover on it. There's a switch, there's a safety button right here, so you can't get your hand caught in there, put anything in it, nothing will go in there. It won't run until this is on. Okay, you can see that there is a little hole in the shield right here. And once we turn the machine on, then we oil it. This is canola oil. You can use any kind of a spray on it that you like. You can use olive oil or something. Canola has no flavor, so that's a good one to use, I guess. So we just spray into this little thing right here into the hole, and it oils the basket as it goes around. Now before we get to that point, we take this is a tension, and you can adjust the tension depending on the type of product that you have and how it's working for your product. We tighten it up just until it's just hand tight, and then loosen it up a couple of turns. So anywhere between 2 and 4 turns to loosen it up. You do 2 to 4 full rotations. Timer on the back of the machine, and it's only a 15-minute timer because the typical run time is 10 to 12 minutes on a full container. And you know, I would suggest that as you start, we usually typically ask you to run it for a few minutes, 5 minutes or so. Check your product, see what it's looking like, see what's going on with it, and then turn it back on. Once you know how your product is going to run through here with the first couple of pounds, then you can just know that that's where you're going to set your timer for that product and just run it that way. So typically once it starts running, then I'll spray into this canal so that it oils the bucket. Start hearing it making any kind of squeak or noise or something like that, then it's time to put a little more in there. And that's pretty much how it goes. And this would happen for, like I said, 10 to 12 minutes per basketful, and that would yield you approximately 2 pounds of trim product. There will be, like I said, a video over here if you'd like to take a look at it that shows you the actual finished product and what it looked like on some that we ran in California. Actually, the rider ran in California. And people ask a lot about cleaning, and this needs to be cleaned as often as you feel like you need to clean it, or probably every couple 100 pounds. Now, if you're running the same variety over and over, you can run it for quite a couple 100 pounds before you need to clean it. If you're running a different variety, obviously you want to clean it. It's easy to clean. On the inside, there's one nut that pulls the basket in place that's easily removed. You can pull the basket out to clean it. You can pull the inside guard out if you want to clean it. You can scrape the keef off of the inside if you feel like that's something that you want to do. You can save that as well. Most of it's going to come out the back, but some does stick on the inside of the machine a little bit. As you know, everything's really sticky. So you can take it completely apart to clean if you'd like. As far as people have asked, what the replacement issues are, or warranties, or any of that, they've been in business for a year, and the only thing that I'm aware of that they've had replaced on these, it's warranted for a year. And the only thing that I've heard that they've replaced is the plexiglass covers from someone breaking them. So, we actually have an accessory kit that comes that has a cover, a bag for the covers to go in, and it has a cover for the machine, it has the shoe.
Okay, that was some great footage there of the Kind Trim Company showing off their trimming machine at the Marijuana Business Fair last Saturday. Stay tuned, we've got more videos coming up here on the Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. Stay tuned.
The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com. Warning, hits taken on this show are larger than they appear. Do not try this at home. These people are professionals. Or at least they pay me to say that.
Are you or is someone you know a marijuana smoker? Have you or is someone in your family been arrested for a marijuana violation? You need to know the truth about pot. NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, is the most comprehensive source of information regarding marijuana and its effects on health, as well as legal issues. NORML even offers a database of lawyers specializing in cannabis in your area. NORML, the nation's largest and most successful marijuana law reform organization, has spent decades gathering the knowledge and science on everything related to cannabis. NORML is the best resource to find out the truth about marijuana, connect with a lawyer in your area, or help find an end to prohibition. Information is available at norml.org, that's NORML.org, or toll free at 888-67-NORML.
It is like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water, like water, like water. Water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Water can flow, or it can crash. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Be water, my friend. Running water never goes stale, so you gotta just keep on flowing, keep on. So you gotta just keep on, so you gotta just keep on flowing. You have to train. You have to keep your reflexes so that when you want it, it's there. When you want to move, you're moving. I mean, you gotta put the whole hip into it. Snap it, snap it. Become one with the. You better train every part of your body. I mean, you gotta put the whole hip into it. Snap it, snap it. You better train, become one with the. You better train every part of your body. Never go stale, so you gotta just keep on flowing, keep on flowing. So you gotta just keep on, Under the sky, under the heaven, there is but one family. Do not believe in styles. Styles separate man. It's a process of continuing growth. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Water can flow, or it can crash. Empty your mind,
420 Radio, freeing your mind.
Doc, what's wrong with you? Tonsillitis? Appendicitis. Yeah! Nobody's died of tonsillitis around here for a while. Appendicitis. Nothing to worry about. Scalpel?
What if the joint were in somebody else's hand, like your surgeon, your lawyer, or your local policeman? Would you still say marijuana is harmless?
Oh, no. Now, let's see if I can still make a straight line.
Respect the law, but know your rights. And share if you can.
Ask me any question, I'm gonna plead the fifth. Unless you asking me if I wanna smoke and spliff, then I'll be coming over. I'm gonna take a lift. You know I leave you feeling like you got the touch of the gift.
Yeah, this is Brian the Red, and you're listening to 420radio.org. So get a little irie. Alright, well, we bring you now Spanibus coverage, brought to you by Gordon Green. We didn't have an upload today, but we'll bring it to you tomorrow if he uploads it later. We know he's busy out there talking to all those Canna celebrities.
It was an awesome weekend at Spanibus 2014 here in Barcelona, Spain. More than 30,000 attendees over 3 days, hundreds of retailers, wholesalers, non-profit organizations, self-employed artisans, you name it. It was at Spanibus 2014 in Barcelona, and I've got all the coverage for you every day this week on Russ Belville Show and 420radio.org. To start things off, Spanibus is an annual trade show where manufacturers and distributors can introduce their products to the retail market, but many of them at the same time are offering their products for retail sale. So lighting manufacturers, nutrient companies, seed banks show and sell their products side by side, and I asked one of the American companies showing products at Spanibus this year, Magic Flight Launchbox, the difference between shows in the States and Spanibus.
What's your name? Where are you from? What are you doing here?
My name is Delia. I'm with Magic Flights. We're located in San Diego, California, and we're here just loving up the Spanibus fair.
What do you think of the bigger size this year?
I think there's a lot more room for people to walk around in. It's not doesn't feel as crowded as last year. I've noticed the grow market is just growing. It seems a lot more organized this year.
What's your name?
I'm Paisley.
Paisley. You've been to cups in the States. What do you think some of the biggest differences are between cups in the States and Spanibus?
Cups in the States are a lot more focused at the end user, and at Spanibus and other European fairs we see a lot more resellers working with distributors, and it's more grow focused. In the States it's definitely glass focused.
And do you have you seen big differences in the cups?
And it shows you, well, just to jump on what Paisley was saying, there is a major difference here. It's about grows, and in the States it seems more end-user related. But in terms of the attitude behind cannabis culture as well, here in Spain especially, it's a very relaxed attitude. It's almost ingrained in the actual Spanish culture. It's not like necessarily just a subculture, where in the States I feel like it's more of a subculture.
Definitely. You haven't seen a single police officer
the one that just walked by.
Yeah, we see them, they just don't bother you here.
Yeah, well, I think they're charged with telling people to put their cigarettes out, things like that. Anyway, does Magic Flight have a new product or something they're introducing in Spanibus this year?
Yes, we have several new exciting things.
Let's hear about them.
The biggest one is the Mod Deep. It's our concentrate box. We're just releasing it for sale in Europe in early May, so it's only available right now in the States, but in Europe you'll be able to get it on vaposhop.com and in some stores as it grows. In the States right now, the only place to usually you cannot use flowers in it. It's just for waxes and shatters and butane style oils. So your harder Moroccan hashes aren't going to work properly in the unit.
Okay, and as this is radio, I will tell you that she has one in front of me, and it's quite nice looking. It looks like a futuristic launch box or a very cruel device that you would kill ants in the summer sun.
I actually am pulling up a quote that somebody said yesterday. They said that it's so beautiful, it's a marriage between modernity and tradition.
Modernity and tradition.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. And
vintage and futuristic is what I was
Delia, why don't you explain how it works?
Okay, so it's the same idea as the launch box, except that the screen is smaller, so it's going to heat a lot faster than the launch box. You're able to it's able to heat high enough to vape concentrates.
So 900 Fahrenheit for U.S. listeners, or about 480 Celsius for everyone else in the world.
And another major difference between the launch box and the Mod D, the launch box, the battery doesn't hold its charge as long because you're drying it differently, where this one, you can use it up to 50 times.
50. 50.
You can take 50 individual dabs with the battery.
So if people, because I know a couple of people who that was their problem with.
That's always been our number one complaint about batteries, and when we do education, teach people how to use their batteries properly, they're still getting about 3 to 4 bowls, but it definitely doesn't compare to the 50 dabs that you're going to get.
Awesome. So what's the website people can find out more about what's it called again?
The Mod Deep.
The Mod Deep.
It's magic-flight.com.
Magic-flight.com. Delia and Paisley, thank you for joining me today. Spanibus Week. It's very nice to meet you.
Thank you for having us.
We will be back with Spanibus 2014 on the Russ Belville Show, 420radio.org after this. And that was a very impressive new gadget from Magic Flight, the Mod Deep. I suggest you check it out at magic-flight.com. Another thing I did day one was I sat down with one of the greatest authors and cannabis personalities in the world, Ed Rosenthal, and his beautiful wife Jane. Here's what they had to say. It's Gordon Green here live, recorded live in Spanibus Week on 420 Radio. I'm here with the great grower and author Ed Rosenthal. Ed, I've just watched or listened to a great presentation you gave on growing here at the Spanibus. It's your third or fourth time here. What do you think about the attendance this year?
I think the attendance is really good. I think it's going to be gigantic tomorrow. Today's Friday. I think they do a great job, and they show a lot of respect for both the vendors and everybody who's here.
Yeah, it's kind of unique because it's a trade show, which usually are restricted to businesses or retail, but this takes from all corners of retail, of consumers, of authors, people like yourself.
Yes, this is a great mix of people who all have an interest in marijuana.
And I want to ask you, several states have initiatives on the ballots or will be voting in the United States to legalize either recreational or medicinal marijuana this year. What are your personal predictions for the coming year of marijuana reform?
I think that our Oregon is going to win, and I don't know what other states actually are on the ballot right now.
I think right now Florida has an initiative that has something like 72% popularity. This is for medical marijuana in a very conservative state. And leads me to my next question, basically, which is yesterday a judge in Colorado ruled that
because of the recent legalization in Colorado, several hundred court cases will be overturned for possession of marijuana in Colorado. How do you think that's going to affect the movement in other states and public opinion among Americans?
I think more important is the interview that Obama gave, in which he said that alcohol was more dangerous than marijuana. And based on that, I think that any judge who sentences anybody to any criminal penalty, whether it's a fine or whether it's prison, is a war criminal and ultimately should be brought before the Hague for crimes against humanity. And I'm serious about that. It's gone on for 80 years that a whole culture, that many cultures have been under genocide by the federal government. And it's time for it to stop, and it's time for some repercussions to the people who brought this terrible thing to the United States, or who continue it. These people, these people deserve to be punished for the criminal way in which they held people.
All right. And Ed, last question, what are your plans the rest of the weekend at Spanibus here?
Enjoy the festivities and learn a lot and talk with a lot of friends.
How do you find the Spanish cannabis here?
Excellent. The people, the growers here are truly connoisseurs.
Right on. Ed Rosenthal, author and expert grower, thank you very much for your time today. And we'll be back with more Spanibus Week on 420 Radio and the Russ Belville Show after this. And I'm going to be here all week long on the Russ Belville Show on 420 Radio with Spanibus 2014 from Barcelona, Spain. Tomorrow, I've got Leonardo from Portugal. He's got some comments about Spanibus 2014. I'm sitting down with Milo, the owner and operator of Big Buddha Seeds. He's got some new things to talk about. And you never know who you're going to run into at Spanibus. We're sitting down with Marijuana Man tomorrow on the Russ Belville Show and Spanibus 2014. I'm Gordon Green. We'll see you then.
And a big thanks to Gordon Green out there in Spain at the Spanibus. We'll have some more coverage from him as soon as he uploads it. Thanks for tuning in here to the Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. Big thanks to all of our listeners out there in Radio Land. Always appreciate the support. Coming up next, we've got Toke Talk Radio and a lot more clips from the Marijuana Business Fair that was held in Seattle last week by the Magical Butter Company people. Big shout out to those guys. For Radical Russ, I'm Brian the Red. Until next time, take care of each other, tokens.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com.
You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it, and it goes down smooth.
Atención.